Hi guys, how you doing? I'm going to talk to you today about how to study well, how to study effectively, alright? And these are my top 10 tips. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and make sure you press the bell button so that when I make more videos, you get to know straight away, alright? My name is Mannan, I'm a GP in Lancashire, UK. I also run Blue Peanut Medical Education. We work with thousands of students, and time again, people ask me about how I studied and how I managed to ace my exams back in the days when I was a student. Alright, we got top grades at school, college and at university, and I feel through our own life experience and my professional experience as a tutor when it comes to working as a doctor and also a medical director at bluepeanut.co.uk, I think I've got a certain amount of experience from which I can draw on the experience I've got and advise you accordingly. So top 10 tips, what are they? Let's start off with number one. Number one, I want to tell you about something very important, and that is to stay organized. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is be organized, having a planner from week to week, month to month, so that it's not just about studying and just about going to school and college, but it's also to do with things like hobbies, things like holidays, things like recreational activity, social activity, and so forth. Because if you don't keep a good life-work balance, remember what I just said, not work-life balance, life-work balance. If you don't keep a good balance with your life, you're not going to perform well when it comes to studying and doing well in your exams. So make sure in that planner, okay, put a big planner up on the wall, okay, and put down when you're going to have breaks, when you're going on holiday, when you're going kayaking, when you're going, I don't know, do whatever you do as a hobby and recreation, okay? Put these things in. Make sure, for example, in a given week, in my opinion, you should have 2 to 3 social activities, and that could be going to the cinema, that could be spending time with friends, that could be just, I don't know, sitting out in the park with friends, for example, or family or whoever. Make sure you do that regularly and it's part of your planner, okay? So that is for me number one, okay? Guys, tip number two. Tip number two is focus, okay? You must stay focused. So when you're in class, for example, when you're listening to your teachers, stay focused, okay? Whatever they're teaching you, internalize it and try and understand it well. Do not lose focus. In the same way as having focus in the classroom, in the learning environment, make sure you also have the same amount of focus when you are enjoying yourself, doing recreational activity, hobbies, going out, whatever. When you're out enjoying yourself, enjoy yourself, all right? There's no need to worry about, the studying at home and whatnot. What that does is it ruins your social experience. You don't feel relaxed, you don't enjoy it. It's bad for the kind of socializing environment. Your friends are going to hate you for it as well. They're not going to forgive you. And also, you feel like you've not got much out of it. When you're back studying, you feel like, you've wasted your time doing something else, like recreation. And you've not quite appreciated the quality that hobbies and recreation brings to your life. So focus at whatever you're doing. All right, that's point number two. Guys, make sure you subscribe, make sure you press the bell button, and make sure you like so that you can see future videos that we publish. Number three is avoiding distraction. So that's almost like the opposite of number two. And that is, when you're in your classroom, don't get distracted. So like, I don't know, your mobile phone, switch it off, put it away. All right, your tab, switch it off, put it away. All right, your friend who's messing about, distracting you, talking about other things, get rid of him, get rid of her, move to another desk or whatever you need to do. You need to focus so you can't be distracted. All right, environment as well. If you are trying to learn in a, classroom situation and it's too warm or it's too cold or it's too drafty or too much light coming in or whatever, talk to your teachers and make sure it's right so you're not distracted, okay? So distraction, you need to avoid distraction. That's a big number three. So what's number four? Number four is three-part thing. Number four is notes, okay? Make sure you make notes. make sure they're excellent, okay? You need to decide what works for you. Personally, I like to draw things. I like to draw pictures. I like to draw spider diagrams. I like to make it pictorial, okay? That's how I learn best. You might like it by maybe writing out raw paragraphs. You might like it mnemonics or whatever you need to do to make good notes. You decide on the technique you like and make sure you do it. And then after that, the two things you need to do is number one, you need to review, okay? So review regularly, make sure your notes are up to date, okay? And also you need to keep your notes simple. Avoid the temptation of making lots and lots of notes which really don't make much kind of sense and also can be distracting and cause problems when it comes to revising. So you need to avoid that. So that's notes, and that is point number 4. Number 5. Number 5 is questions, guys. Make sure it's interactive. Make sure when you're in the classroom, make sure when you're in your workshop, in the lab or whatever, wherever you're learning, make sure you're asking questions. All right? Don't just internalize things as you think is right. No, check. If you don't get it, ask. All right? Talk to somebody, your teacher, your friends or whoever you're working with. Make sure your understanding is correct. Make sure you've internalized the information in the correct manner. All right? If you can't ask during the classroom, why not approach the teacher after the classroom? Why not go up to your professor and say, look, I didn't quite understand what you told me earlier on. Or there was something you mentioned earlier which I'm not so sure about. Can I please have a bit of a discussion on that? Can I please understand that? And can you check my understanding? Something like that, okay? And quite often you'll find the teacher, whoever's teaching you, they're actually very pleased when you do that. They're very happy that you're taking interest in their teaching. So make sure you do that. Make sure you maximize that opportunity. Remember in number 1, I said staying organized, having planners. Well, number 6 is the deep dive. Okay, it's like a deep dive in part of that planner, and that is having a study plan. So when it comes to studying, you don't just say, oh yeah, Monday I'm going to revise and study for 2 hours, Tuesday 2 hours, Wednesday 2 hours. So I'm going to do 2 hours every day, Monday to Friday, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do then 6 hours on a Saturday, I won't do anything on a Sunday, and that's it. That's not good enough as far as I'm concerned. The reason I used to ace my exams is because I used to plan my revision, okay? So when it comes to the study plan, what I used to do is do a deep dive. So yeah, let's stick to what we said earlier on. Monday to Friday, let's assume, outside of my college hours, my lectures and so forth, I allocate 2 hours of studying per day, Monday to Friday. Well, I'm not just going to leave it at that. I'm going to break it down and say how that 2 hour looks like. So on a Monday, I might say I'm going to do some English revision. On a Tuesday, I might say I'll do maths revision. What I tend to do is even more broken down. So on Monday, that 2 hour session, I'll break it down into say 3 or 4 sections, maybe 20-minute chunks, something like that, or half an hour chunks. And say for half an hour, I'll do maths section 1. Half an hour, I'll do French section 1. Another half an hour, I might do, say, geography section 1. Because I've already kind of sectioned off all my revision. So I've decided in geography, I'll break all the material up into 10 sections. In maths, I'll break it up into 15 sections. In physics, I'll break it down into 20 sections. And so I've allocated those sections into a given revision time so that I go over sections in an organized way. I'm not faffing about saying, oh, what shall I revise today? Or what shall I do? Oh, I don't know. The other thing you want to do is in that 2 hours is put some break time in, okay? So give yourself 5-10 minutes to go have a break, make a coffee, make a drink, so that you have a bit of time just to freshen up, basically. So that's what I mean by having a really good revision plan, okay? That is number 6, folks. Make sure you understand that. If you want more information, you can go to our website, www.bluepeanut.co.uk or bluepeanut.com, and you can actually download revision plan to do with the UCAT test, which we help people on. But you can use that for, frankly, any tests, any exams. Okay, remember guys, you need to subscribe, you need to press the bell button so that you get regular updates and videos from us. Okay, and make sure you like as well. Like the like button. Okay, number 7 is environment, folks. Environment, now what I mean by that is not about chopping trees down, it's not about carbon dioxide, it's not about keeping the whales going. All that's important and we will do, all right? All that's fine. But what I'm getting at here is we want the environment right when it comes to revision, all right? What works for you, all right? Have a think about that. For me, what works is at the back of my room, my bedroom, where it's nice and quiet. I make sure there's enough lamps so that it's well lit. I make sure I've got a really good desk so that I can put everything out. It's organized, it's not messy. I also make sure I've got a comfortable chair that I use so that I'm not falling asleep in it. At the same time, it's not numbing my backside because it's so uncomfortable. All right. I make sure I've got my laptop in case I want to access information. I make sure I've got the right books, and anything that I don't need, I move it away because it's a distraction. Okay, and we don't want that. Okay, so making sure you've got a good environment in which you work. Now, I've described to you what the environment I use. You need to decide what works for you and make sure you stick to it and make sure you respect it and you look after that environment. Okay, so for example, I hate a cluttered desk when I'm revising. I make sure my desk is tidy at all times. Right, so the next point we need to make is point number 8. Point number 8 is about fit studying. All right, what the hell is that? Have you guys heard of fit training? All right, so fit stands for frequent, right, intensive interval training. All right, so FIIT, fit. Yeah, I want to apply the same methodology, and that's what I do when my learning comes up. I tend to do fit studying, i.e. frequent, intense. So remember those kind of intense 15-20 minute period, 2 hour over a day or whatever. I break it down in little bite-sized chunks. That's what I want you to do. Think about bite-sized chunks of revision, learning, because evidence goes that if you try to do too much at once, it doesn't really go in. All right, it's more about quality over quantity. All right, it's quality you want. You want fit studying. All right, so have regular studying, i.e. frequent. All right, intense, so it's like an intense period of studying. All right, and it's a small period of studying. Interval, so that it's broken up. All right, with breaks, change of topic, and so forth. Okay, and training, of course. It is what it says on the tin. You need regular training to achieve whatever you want to achieve. Okay, and get that good result at the end of the day. So fit studying, guys. Number 8. Number 9. This is oft misunderstood. This is kind of people think, oh, am I going to be sharing with other people? Is that the right thing to do? No, guys. Group learning, think about it. It's something we do a lot with our postgraduate students, our undergrad students from universities that study with us, and it's a really effective way of studying. It is part of adult learning, and I think the sooner it is implemented into children learning or kind of kiddie learning or school learning, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. Do it because it is good. All right. So what I typically say to my students is on a weekly basis, make sure you try and get together with friends who are in the same class and trying to study for the same things. Come to a common agreement that maybe we'll get together on a Saturday morning, fresh. We'll go through 2 hours worth of studying. We'll cover areas that we struggled with during the week. We'll learn off each other, and guess what? We'll reward each other afterwards by having lunch together or something and catching up with a bit what we've been up to all week. So that's a nice way to incorporate a bit of social side of things, and also group learning where you learn off each other, cooperative learning. That's a really good thing to do. So I would strongly recommend you incorporated that into your revision plan and make it a variable thing. Last but not least, and in my opinion, the most important part of studying and learning, and that is good health. Okay, maintain a really good, healthy lifestyle. What do I mean by that? Well, first of all, make sure you have a really good life-work balance, i.e. make sure you study, for example, at the right time, but at the same time, you need to sleep, okay? You need to rest. So make sure you have downtime. Very important, all right? At the same time, make sure you have uptime. What I mean by that is exercise. Make sure you get up and do about half an hour's worth of exercise on a daily basis. That might be going for a run, it might be going on your treadmill, it might be some spinning, it might be some weights, whatever takes your fancy, do that. Number 3, drink plenty, okay? Make sure you stay hydrated. When I say drink, I don't mean bad drinks, like alcohol, like sugary drinks, fizzy drinks and so forth. No. What I mean is water, isotonic drinks, healthy drinks, natural drinks, that kind of drinks. Keep yourself hydrated. Hydration is very important. There's very, very good evidence to show that if you're not well hydrated, you will not learn. Your brain doesn't function as well as you might think. All right? What's that? Number 4? Number 4 is make sure you eat the right things. Again, a bit like drinking, make sure you avoid the bad stuff. So fast food, processed foods, cheap food, sweets, this and that, avoid it. Okay? Stick to wholesome food, cooked food, home cooked food. Stick to fruits, vegetable and so forth. Okay? So healthy eating. Last but not least, number 5 is me time. All right? So remember I said make sure you sleep and rest. Remember I said make sure uptime and exercise and so forth. Well, there's something in the middle, and that's me time. So that is like when you're awake, make sure you do things like meditation. Make sure you have time for, say, prayer if you're so way inclined. Anything that it makes you focus and gets you to think about yourself and the wider picture. Okay, I find it very, very useful doing that. Make sure you incorporate that. So those are kind of 5 tips in terms of point number 10 in maintaining good health. So overall what I've done, guys, is describe to you my top 10 tips in studying well and being good at it, having good studying habits, whatever you want to call it. Make sure you incorporate that into what you do, and I promise you, you'll do well in your exams, you'll do well in your tests, and you will ace. Okay, you will do really well. So I wish you well. Okay, any advice you have, put it in the comment section. If you think I could do other things like talk about a different topic, again mention it in the comments and I'd be more than happy to do a video for you. But remember, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you press the bell button. Thank you very much, take care, bye bye now.